to my channel. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily Grinstead and I make videos about my faith, lifestyle, mental health, relationships, all that jazz. I am new to YouTube, very new, figuring it out. I will be saying that for a while probably, so give me lots of grace with the quality and as I figure out what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, all that jazz. So like, subscribe, comment, everything. Let's get into it. I have struggled with anxiety and depression for a long time. I don't think I was diagnosed officially until it's probably 19 or 20, so like 4 or 5 years ago. I've had generalized anxiety disorder for a while, and with that usually comes some mild depression. So that's part of my story. Anyways, these are my tips. I was journaling about things that have just helped me day to day with anxiety, you know, in addition to medication, therapy, all that jazz, and also in addition to just like your regular faith life, to prayer, to seeking wise counsel about anxiety, because I do think that anxiety and depression and mental health in general aren't just fully physical and aren't just fully spiritual either. I see them as very holistic issues, and so I think they should be approached from a mind, body, spirit, soul perspective. So these are just little things that have been helpful for me. I try to see if I am thirsty, if I'm hungry, if I'm tired. Do I need to go get some water? Do I need to get a snack? When's the last time I ate? Do I need to go lie down and rest for a bit? How much sleep did I get? Just these basic physiological questions like, is there something physically off? Do I need to go for a walk and get outside? Just kind of checking in with, you know, water, nutrition, sleep, movement, the basics, right? So those would be like my 4 top tips. Get outside, which goes off of number 4. Go for a walk. That is super helpful for me, even if it's really cold, just going outside for a little bit, getting some fresh air, reminding yourself that there is a life and a world beyond the 4 walls of wherever you live. Wonders for your mood. Very common one, but it's so effective. On that note, go for a drive. This is one of my favorite anxiety hacks. I love just getting in my car and driving, sometimes with no particular destination in mind, just driving and driving and driving. Music is a huge one for me. I really have noticed that my mood changes pretty significantly based on the music that I listen to. If I'm listening to something really upbeat, sometimes that makes me really happy and excited and energized. Other times it makes me anxious because I'm like, I have to be doing things, and like this pop music is fun, but also like I feel anxious. Other times sad music really calms me down. Sometimes it makes me not feel good. I tend to, when I'm really anxious, listen to calming music that's also uplifting. So for me, that looks like classical jazz. I love just putting on like a, you know, old jazz classics playlist on Spotify. What else? Lo-fi hip hop and lo-fi Christian music. Big fan. Recent discovery of the past few months, actually. I love having just like really chill music in the background, which is usually like that old classic jazz or lo-fi worship music, lo-fi hip hop. Really great for getting work done, for studying. I had heard people talk about lo-fi hip hop and I was like, what the heck is that? It's awesome. What else? What else did we write down, Emily? Okay, so music, right? This sense. Your ears, hearing, that's the word. Also smells. What does your environment smell like? I love essential oils, I love candles, I love anything that smells good. And so even like baking some cookies or putting on a really nice new candle or putting in, you know, some peppermint drops into my diffuser, so helpful. Cleaning your space. I'm literally staring at my apartment behind the phone right now that is a mess. So after we film this, I need to clean. Yeah. I really, really believe, I don't know who coined the phrase, let me know if you know, that your external space is a reflection of your internal space. And that would be very accurate because my external space is usually a wreck. I'm a very organized person. If you saw my room, it's like pristine right now, but I just moved, as y'all know, and my living room is a hot mess. So yeah, it needs to be organized. Clean, organize, put on that lo-fi music and your essential oils and clean, clean, clean. Super helpful. Shower, go take a shower. Speaking of being clean, speaking of feeling clean, even just rinsing your body off or doing the full hair wash, everything, a good shower, y'all. It feels amazing. And it helps you get out of your head. You just sit in the shower, listen to some music, listen to your lo-fi Christian hip-hop music, smell your essential oils or your cookies or whatever, and take a nice shower. You can feel the water pressure and the hot and the cold and whatever kind of shower you like. Where was I going? I want to take a shower now. Talk to your friends. I love scheduling phone calls, catch-up phone calls on days when I know I'm gonna have nothing to do, or days that I anticipate being difficult or already feel like I'm having a hard week. I love scheduling a catch-up call with a friend. I love pairing it with going outside and going for a walk, because you hit all the things. You go get your fresh air, your vitamin D, get some movement in, get out of your head, get out of your house, and you get to socialize and catch up with a friend, which is such a great deal. So many birds with one stone. Love doing that. Obviously, if you can't go outside for some reason, FaceTime is great. Face-to-face interaction, we love socializing. Helps with anxiety. I wouldn't go to this first because I feel like it's more of a distraction than like truly coping and like getting to the bottom of things. But honestly, when I'm just having an off day or feel really lonely or just down, depressed, I put on a TV show that I love, like a favorite show. Y'all know my favorite show. It's New Girl. No surprises here. In the background, and just have it playing, or have the Weather Channel or something on. Don't put on the news in the background. Don't do that to yourself. Put on something that is really familiar and comforting and just makes you smile. Have this background noise, sit down and eat your meals while watching it. I do that all the time. If I don't have anything to do, I'll pull up a YouTube video or an episode of New Girl. Perfect little 20-minute lunch break. Anyways, anxiety blanket, weighted blanket. These things are amazing. Maybe I'll give another one away eventually. They're also kind of expensive. I got one of these for Christmas or my birthday a couple years ago. Magical. So great. I sometimes sleep with it. It just feels like you're being swaddled, but as an adult. I think praying about anxiety is so helpful. There are certain verses about anxiety and about peace that are wonderful. I tend to find the verses about peace more helpful personally than thinking about verses about anxiety, because I tend to struggle with more of a legalistic view around these things and putting shame on myself. And so for me to read verses about anxiety while I'm feeling really anxious tends to put me in this headspace of, oh, I'm doing something wrong. This is all my fault. I'm sinning because I'm feeling anxious. I need to fix this. Kind of in this spiral, if you will. Versus if I'm reading a verse about peace and praying for peace and dwelling on peace, meditating on peace, whatever you want to say, I have just had a much better experience with calming anxiety in the moment, because it's kind of focusing on the positive and not like the negative of the situation, if that makes sense. Like if I'm sitting here like, oh, God says don't be anxious. Okay, Emily, don't be anxious, don't be anxious, don't be anxious. Like it doesn't really help. It just makes me think about it more and be more anxious. Versus if I'm like, okay, like God gives peace beyond all understanding. Like He's the Prince of Peace. It just makes me feel peaceful. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know. Cool. And going off of that, journaling. Sometimes, honestly, I will just, actually not sometimes, often, I will pull up a Google Doc or without a physical journal and just write and write and write and free associate whatever comes to mind and get it out of my head, because sometimes I have so many thoughts going on, so many things I need to do or I'm worried about or what have you. I just need to get it on paper and get it out of my head and think about it, organize it, or just leave it there, honestly. Okay, last one is my favorite anxiety hack. I don't know when I discovered this, but it's helped me so much. I'm very much a schedule person, and this has just been so helpful. So when I am having a hard time and feeling really anxious, depressed, out of it, whatever, unmotivated, I say, what am I gonna do for the next hour? 1 hour. Don't plan the whole day. I don't micromanage exactly what I'm gonna do all day, even though that is my nature, and I am so tempted to just like plan out every second of my day. For me to just be like, okay, Emily, what are we gonna do for this next hour? Whether that's go to the grocery store, clean my apartment, take the trash out, do the dishes, and fold laundry. Those are kind of like small tasks that you can cluster together. you know, watch a movie, call a friend for an hour, film a video, you know, whatever. It is so helpful just to be like 1 hour. That's all I have to focus on. I find it really helpful to just take things 1 hour at a time. And sometimes, honestly, y'all, if it is a particularly hard day, I will take it 30 minutes at a time, 15 minutes, 10 minutes at a time. What do I have to do for the next 10 minutes? It feels a lot more manageable to be like, okay, this is my task for the foreseeable future. I don't have to have the whole day planned out, because I know when I'm already in like a heightened anxiety space, I tend to get really, be more susceptible to shame if I plan out my whole day with, you know, these 10 things I want to get done and then only get done 4 of them, 5 of them or something. I would be like, great, shoot, I just screwed my whole day up and, you know, I'm a failure, whatever, spiral. No, we don't want to let the enemy do that to us, right? We don't like that. So 1 thing at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. Woo! Yeah, okay. I hope these were helpful. I know they're pretty simple, but these are my top tips that helped me personally. Honestly, whenever I read a blog post or watch a video about this topic, I always learn something new. So I hope you learned something new. If you did, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you get notified when I make new videos, and comment your favorite tip below, or if you have a different tip to add. I would love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, I can't cover everything in this video, so share the love, share the tips, all that jazz. Okay, love y'all.